Yo guys, what is going on? It has been quite a while since I made a video. I do apologize, just had a lot of life stuff going on. School started up, moved to a new place. Also, I got sick. You can probably hear it in my voice a little bit. But we got some BT14. I'm a little bit checked out on set 13 right now, even though we've got, what, like 2 more months of that at this point. So I'm just gonna upload what I feel like, and I felt like playing some D Brigade against my buddy here, and we got Yellow Vaccine up at the top. This is a really interesting deck because it's pretty much the first time I think we've gotten a dedicated just like yellow toolbox like security manipulation. Isn't just like a straight yellow hybrid or a straight secon or anything. Also, by the way, we're gonna misplace slightly with the TK. When you do activate the on play to add the top card of your security, the thing you put at the bottom, the yellow vaccine you put in your security has to go to the bottom, not the top. Small thing, I don't think it'll actually really affect anything, but regardless, we're going to see the Magnet Angemon Ace. Turn 1 is still a really strong play. I think that card being a 4 cost is so crazy. The overflow does not matter whatsoever, in my opinion, because it's such a slow pace deck. You're still getting so much value out of it. A recover, and if you lose 3 memory, okay, you basically just paid 7. It's just the regular Magnet Angemon at this point. D-Brigade off to a pretty bad start. I did not really see a rookie in my opening hand. This is also post-mulligan, by the way, so if you're wondering why I did mulligan, well, I did. And the opening hand was actually just worse than this. So I thought we could at least get a little bit of advantage with the High Command Dramon, and then maybe go into the Cargo Dramon afterwards. But we're going to lose that immediately to the Ace, and then our friend here is going to go Geo Greymon to play the TK, resolving a bunch of effects here, so we get to recover off the Geo Grey first, and then afterwards we get to gain the memory off of the first TK, the 3-cost one, as well as draw a card from the egg, and then use the 4-cost TK to look at our security once again, grabbing Venusmon this time, recovering on up, going to 6 security here. Venusmon, pretty strong against D-Brigade, being able to just blanket out their swings for the turn is pretty crazy, and then you can kind of pick off the board from there. But D-Brigade is really, really resilient this set. I think we've gotten a lot of tools to kind of make it a tier 1 contender. Is it tier 1? I honestly can't tell you yet. Look forward to the tier list video that'll be coming at some point, as I am testing a lot of these decks with some of my buddies, just to kind of figure out what works and what doesn't. Now, Venusmon here does actually stop on all when Digivolving effects for the turn because everything has Psych Attack -1. So instead of Digivolving the Cargo Dramon, I'm actually just going to play it because he starts at 3 memory anyways. I figured, well, might as well just put another body on field and then get a free body on field with the Cargo Dramon. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to be able to play the Command Dramon, and the Command Dramon, this new one, is really insane, being able to just look at top 5, add any D-Brigade or Digi-Police card. And then we've also got a pretty strong Inherited, being able to effectively kill one of your other D-Brigades if it would leave the field. And then now I get to choose whether I want to stack those cards at the top of my deck or at the bottom of the deck, which I really like. You get the choice, maybe if you're setting up for something like a Dark Dramon or stacking your draws for the Cargo Dramons, etc. But none of those cards were particularly amazing, so I'm going to put them at the bottom. Venusmon here is going to swing into security. Now, keep in mind, if that Venus does leave the board, I will gain 3 memory because of the Overflow 3 of the Magnet Angemon anytime that card just is removed from the battle area whatsoever. So Reinforcing Boost, the limited card, of course, going to come down here, stacking yet another TK, putting our opponent here on up to 7, and it's at this point, I mean, I've still got 4 swings, so don't underestimate, D-Brigade's ability to just kind of spam the board. Death X isn't real, guys. Don't worry about that. All right, we're not playing around that ever because they don't have it. But D-Brigade can do some really cool things, and then the High Command Dramon here is one of my favorite cards in the deck. New addition here, we get to just basically swing, and every time you swing, you get to just play another body for free. And then because we know that the TK's here, I'm not gonna be afraid of like the High Command Dramon dying, so I can potentially reuse it next turn if my opponent doesn't get rid of it. So again, once again, we are going to see the TK on play, stacking the security, and of course, it being a Digimon is a little bit inconsequential here. The idea is to kind of stack your security with something that you can evolve into with like the Messenger of Hope or the Patamon that our opponent has in the back. But again, just a slight misplay. I do apologize about that, guys. Reading is pretty difficult. So running into the Geo Greymon here, but of course our Sealsmon has jamming, so it's not going to really matter what the DP is anyways. And then we're going to swing with the 2-cost Command Dramon here. Thinking on the Missymon, it's pretty cool that you can just kind of boost it by 2k It's pretty significant, but really wasn't going to matter there in the face of a Venusmon. So the Commandramon is just going to die, and then the Brigadramon, the new boss monster, aka just like Cop War Greymon here, is going to be able to blow up any amount of Digimon up to total play cost 7, and then end of turn reveals 3, and then plays any number of D-Brigade Digi-Police cards, mind you, which is pretty cool, that total up to 7. So gonna play Commandramon here and a Satsuki, the new Tamer, which is really, really sick. I really like her in the deck. Being able to just give any one of your Digimon jamming reboots pretty insane, and then just a free memory every single turn. Now the Patamon, man, this Patamon is a problem, dude. This card gets you so much value for absolutely like no downside. So you get to just look at your security, and if you do have an appropriate target, you get a Digivolve, but our opponent is going to choose not to do so, and instead is going to go into the Rapidmon for a cost of 4, suspending 3 things because they got 3 Tamers on field, and then 3 things will get minus 5,000 through the suspended Digimon. So kind of deciding on how to divvy that up. Probably doesn't want to get rid of the BT4 Commandramon, but at this point, because we do have the Kargadramon inherited effect, it does trigger whenever all turns, whenever one of your other Digimon, I think just in general, is deleted. You get to just, when one of your other Digimon is deleted, you get to reveal top 3 and then just play Commandramon. It's pretty cool during your opponent's turn, so it's pretty annoying. Like, it is only once per turn, but it means that your opponent, or like me in this case, can just continue to spam the board, and it's really difficult to just answer everything because you have so many resources. So we're going to, once again, get that Commandramon, revealing top 4, adding a high Commandramon, and then stacking the deck at this point. And then our opponent is going to swing into the Brigadramon, but of course, because Brigadramon's effect does give blocker to all of your D-Brigade Digi-Police, we can just simply block with the Commandramon to kind of protect our boy here, sitting at 7,000. So Rapidmon is not quite big enough to swing over it, sitting at 5,000, but Magnet Angemon Ace is definitely big enough. So again, just being able to Digivolve this and still get the effect is also just insane. Like, being able to just recover, and then now we get to minus 5,000 onto something, so he's going to do minus 5,000 onto my Decoy Commandramon, and then just being able to trigger all of those effects, drawing card, gaining 3 memory, 2 off of each of the TKs, and then 1 off the Patamon, is just absolutely crazy, as if that wasn't enough. So right there, like, again, like, the overflow, I think, is so inconsequential. That interaction just paid for the overflow, even if the Magnet Angemon does die at some point later on. So, like, you gain so many resources to the point where I don't think losing 3 memory here and there is a big deal. And then Ruin Mode is just going to hit the board, being able to neg everything by 5,000. Now, of course, it does delete the Commandramon. You do have to reveal the top 3, but it is optional to play a Commandramon, so I'm just not going to do so because it just wastes resources, and of course, because everything would be at 0, the Commandramon would not be able to trigger its on-play effect because it basically leaves the field before you actually, before it's considered played. So I'm just not going to do that, and then we're just going to gain a memory off of the Satsuki, and then just Digivolve on up in the back. I'm going to go Sealdramon here because it is 6k, but of course I actually do have kind of a cool answer to this Ruin Mode, because I don't want him to be able to trigger it for multiple turns. I do have the DCD Bomb, which is a 4-cost option. I think it's Digi-Police or D-Brigade traded option card, which is pretty cool. So it's actually like searchable. You can play it off like the Kargadramon and stuff, which is pretty cool because a lot of the new cards just specify like D-Brigade card. So devolving the Ruin Mode and then being able to pop something that is 6 cost or less. Or it's actually like a spread effect. It's not one thing that's 6 cost or less. It is any number of Digimon that total to 6 cost or less. So it's a really good spread card. Maybe if you're playing in the mirror or something, or in this case against aces, because aces have very low play cost. So since our opponent was nice enough to leave that Magnet Angemon on board, we're just going to delete it and then gain back the 3 memory, continuing our turn at 0. Which again in this scenario is a little bit unfortunate because we are still under Ruin Mode. I'm just going to go ahead and play a Pride Memory boost, revealing some cards, and then not being able to, or well, being able to play something, but not really mattering because everything's just going to die. Anyways, I just want that extra 2 memory on the next turn, and I don't think putting our opponent to 4 is that big of a difference from 3 in this scenario. So our opponent is just going to go ahead Venusmon at security, swinging into the Cargo Dramon here. Nothing to worry about there. I think the only thing you're really scared of is security bombs. I think Brigade Dramon's also 12,000, but all the Dark Dramons, I believe, are 11k, so your real only big threat is like an Iron Fisted or a Ultiflare or something. And then, hey, look, it's our boy back, Magnet Angemon, what, the third one at this point? Recovering another card, and then just Digivolving straight into Seraphimon. Okay, so I take back what I just said. Putting him to 4 versus 3 was actually a huge like deal. That was pretty important. So our opponent is just going to be able to get back the the resources they want, and then stacking their security with potentially powerful option cards, tamers, and stuff like that. Seraphimon is a threat as well because if our opponent does resolve the Patamon next turn, and a security, our security is increased by the effect of like recovering via the Patamon after it evolves, then the Seraphimon will gain a 7,000 or minus 7,000 on something, and then gain Sec Attack +1 for the turn. So we are thinking of using the Satsuki here to Mind Link to the Numemon. I think at this point it doesn't really matter, but the unfortunate thing is to give Numemon Rush, you have to Mind Link from the hand. So I'm just going to stick the Satsuki underneath the Cargodramon, giving it jamming. Not that it matters because we hit a TK card. Who cares? That's a pretty dead card for our opponent right now. And then we're just going to pass turn once again with another Brigade Dramon, deleting 7 cost or lower. Nothing on field to delete, and then we're just going to be able to play a Command Dramon and another Satsuki to end off the turn. And then, of course, since we've got Reboot, we will unsuspend, and then we do have 3 potential blockers, so not necessarily in range of lethal. But again, our opponent has so many resources. They have the potentially to go like +3 memory here if they evolve into something with the Patamon. And at this point, because they've looked and peeked at their security so much, they most likely have something to do to evolve into. So we're going to evolve into Angemon. You immediately Digivolve and draw first. And then you're going to finish resolving the Patamon effect by shuffling and then putting a yellow vaccine from your hand to the top of your security stack, which I don't actually remember if Patamon specifies top. It specifies bottom. So again, that should go to the bottom. I apologize. But regardless, we're going to gain 2 memory here off of the TK and then 1 off of the Patamon because the security was increased. And then, of course, being able to trigger the Seraphimon, gaining a Sec Attack +1, minus 7,000 onto something. So here thinking about what to neg is 7k, but our opponent's like, okay, well, if I neg 7k the Numemon, the Cargodramon trigger will proc anyways, and it'll just float into something else, so you might as well try to get rid of the Brigade Dramon first. Now we have Messenger of Hope, a pretty insane option card that is similar to the Patamon. You basically get to look at your security, and just basically for that 1 cost, you get to free evolve into whatever yellow vaccine is in there. So hey, look, I think that is the 4th Magnet Ace at this point. So just being able to free evolve into that. And then afterwards, if you have TK in play, you do recover off of the Messenger of Hope. Also, I don't think I paid 1 for that, but the guys, is not going to matter. So we're going to be able to then trigger the Magnet Angemon Ace effect, not recovering, but negging the Brigade Dramon by the additional 6,000. And then Seraphimon here is going to come down for 4. And then once again recovering, and then neg 7 onto something off of this new Seraphimon. Both of them are checking 2 cards at this point. With only 3 security left, Seraphimon is going to swing, hitting for 2. And then the second Seraphi is going to swing, and guys, that is just going to be game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of these 2 decks. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.